You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle. Hey everybody, Jim Chester here at Chiro Hustle Podcast. This is a live stream afternoon edition. I have Joe Freeman over there, right way this time. He's in Kansas City, Missouri. We've collapsed time and space, and now we're together face to face. I'm in Grand Junction, the Grand Valley of the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say no one lives. Today's episode is a sponsorship episode, and MedZone is a sponsor, and his flagship product in the chiropractic space is Pain Zone. And welcome to the show, Joe.
Thanks, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here, as always. You're doing a great job. We like catching up with you. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, you know, it's so much fun to having dynamic sponsors like you to help us be the most consistent in the marketplace and have the megaphone for chiropractors to learn about what's current, what's new, what's going on, the trends, you know, and the culture. So right away, let's talk culture. Let's talk a little bit about why chiropractic. Why did you decide that chiropractic was a good space for your product?
You know, I think that really the marketplace defined why they wanted our product. You know, we've got a pain relief product that helps people feel better. It's a great complement to chiropractic care. I think the market determined that most chiropractors want something that's unique to them, something that's, you know, effective. It's more of a premium product, and they want something that's going to help their patients ultimately. And that's what we want. You know this. You can go to Walmart and see 20 different, 30, 40, 50 different pain relieving gels, roll-ons, creams. Where we wanted to be, we wanted to position ourselves in the market to be different and to help these chiropractic patients as a complement to the chiropractic care. And honestly, it sounds cheesy, but there's just some really, really fun people, nice people, smart people in the chiropractic community. I mean, you talk to them every day. And it's one of those things that just, they're really good people. So it's always fun when you have a product that makes people feel better and you're working with customers and business partners that are just good people to work with.
Yeah, I've really fallen in love with the chiropractic space. I know that the chiropractors are like the last bastion of like real health providers. And I think that, you know, when people think about like healthcare, they usually think about something like, you know, how do I get over something or how do I fix something? But chiropractic is very preventative, but it can get people out of like a sticky situation when they don't take care of themselves as well. And in the meantime, Pain Zone is something that those people that are going through that intense state of healing can use to help themselves get through that you know, just transition period from not feeling good to getting to a better sensibility of, you know, health and wellness.
You know, it is. And one of the things that we found that Pain Zone in particular, we've got a product line and a couple of them do this as well. But, you know, it's not just when you have a major incident. You know, sometimes you just get sore. Sometimes you have aches and pains. And it doesn't really matter your age or gender. You know, I have a son who plays baseball who uses Pain Zone, you know, after and during every game, just because it helps him get loose, helps him stay warm, helps him perform better. I have a mother-in-law who uses it on her hands for arthritis symptoms, and, you know, and she's the best testimonial I have because she wouldn't say anything positive unless it was true, other than she has great grandkids. But it's one of those things, you know, it's one of those, it's great for when you are in deep pain, but it's also a great management tool just for life's aches and pains that come up. And it's kind of like we talk about with chiropractic, and I know a lot of your guests do this. It's not just a one-time event. It's kind of a, you know, get adjusted on a regular basis, you know, take care of yourself on a regular basis. Healthcare is about this whole scheme of things, and it's nutrition, exercise, chiropractic care, you know, management of other things. It's not just that acute event. It's more of a way of life, and it's more of a way to stay healthy as a whole. And we believe in that very much. And that's kind of the product. That's kind of a lot of the momentum that we have going behind the product line.
So let's talk a little bit about Pain Zone specifically, and
Sure.
how is that complementing the chiropractic space?
You know, this playbook has been written. There's been a lot of different players working with chiropractors over the years. So a lot of patients have become accustomed to something that happens in between adjustments, something that can help them feel better or manage the pain. And so what we've done is just put a better product in the marketplace that's been around since 2001, dealt with a lot of collegiate and professional athletes. But what we've done is give them a product that the doctors can use, that they can, share with their patients. The patients feel better. And again, it's a compliment. It's not meant to replace anything, but it's a compliment because it's one of those things. You may get an adjustment once a week, once a month, once a quarter, but at some point in time during that intermittent step, you need something to make you feel a little bit better, to help you get loose, to help alleviate some of that pain that you have. So it goes back to, it's just about it being a compliment.
Yeah, and a lot of times, even when people are getting adjusted, they still have tension in the muscles. It's tough to turn their neck. It's tight. And
exactly.
Having something to maybe give a little ease to that tension is something that most people would be like, I want that.
We hope so. We hope so. That's why we put a quality product out there. And, the other part of it is, we've done some videos lately. We've been in this space for about 6 months. And we've really tried to get in depth and get immersed into the culture of chiropractic, the professional side of chiropractic. And it is so fulfilling when I can get a video from a doc or a patient. I have one doctor in Kansas City. I have to give a shout out to Dr. Boonder in Kansas City. His wife was the reason we're in their clinic because it worked on her. And he said, when I can trust my wife with it, I can trust my patients with it. And that's the kind of stuff that just makes you feel better. You're doing the right thing, you're making an impact. And so stories like that, whether it's from a doctor or a patient, are all things that kind of gets the juices flowing and gets everybody around here rolling.
I think they call that third-party validation.
We do. We do also, and we like it.
Well, that's awesome, man. It's good when you can share those like personal stories, because that's really the ethos of life. That's what people connect to. But let's turn the page one page to the side here. And I know that you have been working your tail off lately. You've been at so many trade shows. You said so many in a flash that I couldn't even catch them all. So let's talk about the journey that you've been on since our last interview.
You bet. Well, we have been working hard, but it's a team effort. We've got people in the office. We've got interns. We've got our head of sales. These guys are all working hard. So we have been to Wisconsin. Went to the Wisconsin Chiropractors Association meeting. We've been to the Parker event out in Las Vegas, which we had a great reception out there. I had mentioned to you earlier, the great thing about Parker was people would walk back, doctors would walk by and have something wrong with their neck or their back and just ask for a sample and use it. And then the next day they'd come back, want to put the product in their office, and then give me a video testimonial. So we have a great clip of a bunch of testimonials that came just unsolicited from doctors walking by. So that was good. So Wisconsin, Missouri, Parker. We have a big event this weekend in Kansas City. Forward Thinking Chiropractors Association has Forward KC. It's an inaugural event. We're really looking forward to be involved with those folks. A lot of great people. Dr. Jeff Langmaid, I know he's going to be one of the keynote speakers there. We like him a lot. We're looking forward to meet some new people. We'll be in Texas. Cleveland University is in our hometown, so we try to do as much as we can with Cleveland. Expanding our distribution. It's just been going really, really well. And the reception keeps, it's positive for us. One of the things I'm proud of is that with Forward KC this weekend, instead of just, paying to be there, one of the things we negotiated was we were able to pay for a contest to let someone else go. So we have a doc who's going to be able to go to the event under a scholarship from us. And that's just a part of the way that we give back. We've done crazy things like if you're flying Southwest Airlines, we have an ad in the back on the puzzle page, and it talks about ask your chiropractor for, because we want to promote the profession and promote our product by doing that as well. So those are the kind of things. Our next one of those comes out in August. So those are the kind of things we're doing. But we've been crazy. We've got our team in the office. Val, our operations folks, has done a great job. We've got 2 interns this summer that are working. Our head of sales is making a lot of progress. So it's been a ton of fun. A lot of great conversations with chiropractors and with patients, and getting some great feedback to them on how to make things better for them. So we like all of that.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro. Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, Mooville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle.
Yeah, I think it's definitely cool that I see you out there, Chiro, hustling and promoting your brand and promoting your product and actually making inroads with some of the decision makers in the profession, which I think is really cool. And then you can start establishing more social positioning, cultural authority, and then you can start getting more brandable and more submersed into the profession to where people are saying, this is the thing that you want to have supporting your office and your patient base.
That's exactly right. One thing that happened just this week, I had mentioned to you. So Chiropractic Economics, give them a plug, big industry trade journal. They had an article about the right way to retail in your office. And what they did was they used a doc that has a very successful retail practice. And they were nice enough to let us get involved as well. So we were able to co-author some stuff. But I think what that goes back to, yes, we're a for-profit business and we're trying to make an impact there, but we're also doing that by a way of giving information, of giving data. Like you said, we're hustling. We want to continue to hustle. We want to keep doing it. And there's no one way to do it. There has to be multiple ways. And whether that's our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Chiro Economics, Chiro Hustle, it's a team approach to this.
Yeah, and I know you touched on a couple things there, but you one of the things that we talked off camera about was you're positioning yourself with print media, you're positioning yourself at the events, so you're making yourself present wherever people are you're going, which is I think there's nothing greater to make impact with people than to go out there and shake their hand and look them in their eye, get to meet them where they are, and then also working with us on the digital platforms, I think is a high leverage positioning right now because it's 2018. And if people weren't aware, we've moved out of the yellow page arena and now we're onto the podcasting, we're onto the live streaming, we're onto the blogging, we're onto vlogs, we're onto like the new where people are getting their information. We're getting current with the times and we're actually approaching the arena the right way. Redistribution and repurposing to multiple platforms, I think, is the future of how people like you and I will get our upstart brands out into the communities.
And that's important because, our brand has been around since '01, but it's new to this community. And that's one of the ads that we run. It's not new. It's just new to chiropractic. And I think that there's such a need right now for instant gratification and instant information. We feel as a company, we have to be in all of those places because some people want to read a magazine and touch it. Some people want to hear it on a podcast. Some people want to talk to Alexa. Some people want to see it as they're flipping through their Facebook post or their Twitter post or Instagram post. So that's why we have to be in all those places. And it's been successful thus far. And we want to keep being that way because there's, different people want it different ways. And we want to be able to capitalize on those different requests that they have.
And the same marketing strategies that they taught me when I graduated in '02 are way different than the same marketing strategies that I'll teach somebody else in 2018. I think the market is going so fast that if you don't stay with the times, then eventually you honestly, you'll lose relevancy and you won't know what to do. And I see that with so many people that are coming into the Chiro space that they honestly don't know what to do.
Well, I don't want to date myself, but the marketing class I had, we didn't even have an email. So that's a few versions even before when you graduated. But, I think that's one of the things that's really intriguing to me about this industry is that there's so many really, really smart medical professionals that are also really smart business professionals. And so they're finding unique ways to market themselves, position themselves, get the word out, run a profitable business. Because today's economy is so fast paced. You've got to be lean and efficient. And I really enjoy when I talk to a practice that is doing things that's on the cutting edge, helping their customers, running a good for-profit business, have a great culture for the team. And that's just a very fulfilling piece of it. But I think it's more of a requirement now than a wish.
Yeah, and one of the things that you were talking about off camera again was you guys made some educational resources for patients to understand your product better. Let's touch on that a little bit.
So one of the things that we were concerned about as we got into the into this niche, into the chiropractic industry, was how do people answer the same questions over and over and over and consistently, so that the staff inside the doctor's office understands what the answers are, and ultimately the patient gets the correct and a consistent answer. So we created this program called the MedZone Minute, and it's basically a bunch of 1-minute clips that talk about questions that are very common to come up. We have, who is MedZone? Why have I never heard of them before? Well, we've got a clip that talks about that. Tell me about Pain Zone. Why is it different? Does it work on different techniques? Is there different things that on how it applies? And so what we did was we put this list together, and we made videos so that the doctor could feel comfortable that they can watch the videos, they feel comfortable with what the message is, then they can share it with their staff. And then their staff can watch it when they want to. And so for us, it's been a great positioning tool because, again, I don't want to be one of 30. I want to be the one that is the preferred brand of choice. It works best for the patients, that we're customer centric and customer focused with our docs. And so the MedZone Minute's been a great thing, been very well received. And we're always looking to add to that library so that it takes some of that training off the docs, but they can feel comfortable that it's consistent. But they also get a lot of opportunities to make sure that they're maximizing their staff's time and the ultimate care that they give to their patient.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. What they call that in the marketing world is a goodwill campaign. You start your goodwill campaign with information, teaching people, educating people, and then you go to the ask campaign. You start asking people for buy-in and purchase, and then you go to the review campaign. So you do the goodwill, the ask, the review, and now you have a marketing brand that is getting cultural awareness that people are like, well, they did a good job educating. They had a good presence. They were professional about what they did. Then they didn't come to the table right away saying, buy my stuff. Yeah. They got to know the market well enough to start out with. And then they went for the ask campaign and the sale. And then they went to the review campaign and say, hey, if you had good results with what we're doing and what you had with us, please give us a review to validate that you enjoyed the product and the experience that you had with us.
Exactly. We always say relationships before business, and that's what it is. If we have a good product, if we have great products and awesome service, things will work out. And that's what we're living by, and that's what we're excited about, and that's how we've been able to help a lot of people.
And if anybody was out there listening to that point in the interview, you took away some great value there, because I basically told you how to run a 9-month marketing campaign for anything that you have. You do the goodwill, you do the ask, and then you do the review. And with that being said, anybody that can start using those strategies to build their momentum to get out to more people.
Well, and you take that, what you just said, it can go to real life for a chiropractic office. The goodwill, you go to a race. You're talking to people, you're talking to them about how to be preventative, you validate yourself by the treatment you give, you ask them to come in. What you just said is a path that is real life to a lot of chiropractic professionals. So it's not theory, it's really practice.
Yeah. And it just happens like when you make friends with somebody, you're like, all right, we're going to hang out. We're going to go get something to eat. We'll have a drink. And then before you know it, you're like, hey, can you help me move?
Yeah.
Hey, can you watch my dog? I'm leaving town.
Got to build that relationship before I'm going to start moving boxes with you.
But it's a symbolism for moving through life. Is you build a relationship, then you say, oh, I need help to go to the airport. Will you give me a ride? Or would you watch my kids for an hour while I run somewhere? So it's reciprocation. But that's the same model of how we build friendship and community going forward. And that's the same way you can bring brand into it as well.
Well, and I think that's a great way to sum up the stuff that we've been trying to do. When we're contributing to this community with, scholarship efforts and educational efforts and validation efforts, and then the marketing efforts, we want to be in this long term. This is not a hobby for us. We are in this space. We want to be in this space, and we think we've got a very good product to be in this space. And so, yeah, it's all of those legs of the stool are what make it work, and we're committed to it. We're committed to our patients. And to our customers, I should say. We don't have a lot of people who are unhappy with their service. We don't have a lot of people who are unhappy with the product.
Well, with that being said, I know we're pushing up on the edge of our interview in our chat today about MedZone and Pain Zone. Is there anything that we didn't discuss that you'd like to touch on today? Where are you
No,
going to be? And where are
uh,
you headed next?
we're going to Forward KC for the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance in Kansas City this week. We'll be in Texas next week. We're looking at Cleveland Homecoming in the fall. We'll be at FCA in August. They'll see us in a lot of publications over the next few weeks, the next few months. We're always on social media. So if anybody wants to follow us at Go MedZone, they'll find a lot of things that's going on. Whether that's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, they can find us there. We're going to be where our customers are going to be. So we're going to be where the docs are, and just keep hustling. Like you say, we're just going to keep hustling and keep making relationships and hope that people will give us an opportunity to be one of their choices they offer their patients. They don't have to replace something they already have. Just let us be one of those choices, and let the patient ultimately decide. And we like our chances when that happens.
Yeah. So if people do want more, or a better resource, where do they go for that?
So there's two places. They can go to our website, medzonecorp.com. We've redone that to include our athletic business, but also to our chiropractic business. But they can also go to iMedzone, the letter I, MEDZONE. That's a page that is really focused on chiropractic. It's got some video testimonials. It talks about the product. It does some things that help educate the doctors on why what we're doing in the marketplace. iMedzone.com is probably the best place to start.
Cool. So imedzone.com. And I'm just going to say, anybody that's out there watching this on replay, if you're watching this on replay and you got to this point in the interview, a hashtag replay in there, and then we'll know that you watched this. So we kind of have our audience of who's watched this after it's gone live. And with that being said, I just want to say thank you for supporting the Chiro Hustle brand and realizing that we're somebody in the marketplace that's doing forward momentum and that we're everywhere everybody wants to be.
That's awesome. Jim, thanks for having us on. We appreciate the relationship. We appreciate the opportunity. If any of your customers or any of your listeners have anything for us, we're 24/7, and it goes for you and your team as well.
Yeah. And I just want to close out and say, you're just one story away. Keep hustling. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.